All right, so with our handsome Mr. Teddy, you ready, sir? I wanted to see if we could work a little bit with some paws up and see how he's feeling with the paws up or the step up. You ready, sir? So sometimes we might warm up with just getting some nice focus on us. So he had been doing a really nice job with some of those place positions, working the stay while I was trying to help generalize some novelty nearby. So for this one, again, I'm just doing a few finest just to keep the handsome guy busy while I'm blabbing for a few moments. So with paws up or step up, this can be really beneficial to getting your puppy comfortable going up onto something. It could be a novel situation like going on the scale at the vet's office or getting into your vehicle, or for later, working with front end and hind end awareness. I'm just taking some of his chicken snacks and ripping them up a little bit smaller. Even though he's a big gentleman, I'd want him to have little tidbits so he can do more practice than less. So I know we've mentioned it in the past, have your snacks be almost little, so that way, even though he's a bigger gentleman, he has more reps to practice versus maybe getting full with all of them. And he's so going to think about laying down. Ready, Teddy, come. He's like, I need more water. Oh, good job. He did just have a little drink, but I wasn't sure if he was going for round number 2. Great check-in, sir. So the reason behind doing some paws up, it was we're also working, ready, with getting some front and hind end awareness. Ready, paws up? Yes, good job. So I know he's getting to be ginormous and he's probably going to outgrow my paws up bowls, but this is why I also doubled them because I didn't want him to start squeezing through and sinking. Ready, find it. So I sometimes would like to, when he goes undoes his paws up and targets the bowl, is to practice having him get off by doing a little find it so we can reboot it. Ready? Paws up. Yes, what a smart man. So again, right now we're just asking for putting those front feet up onto a platform. This can also be great as a way to redirect him. So let's say maybe he sees your neighbor or he sees something going off in the distance where he's still under threshold. Ready? And then we could get him to go do this versus paying attention to your neighbor. Ready? Paws up. Yes, and feed for that response. Oh my gosh, the saliva. The St. Bernard is coming out quite nice. Here, ready? We drop that one? Here you go. So ready? Find it? Good job. But yeah, the slime factor has been awoken, but that's all right. Mr. T says, I'm tired. All these wild men. Ready? Teddy, come. Yes, what a good boy. So if I didn't think Mr. T was going to recall to me, I wouldn't go ahead and kind of keep asking if I thought he was going to be too far gone and tired. Ready, paws up? Yes, thank you, smart boy. Yes. So 2, with the handsome guy, you could even do a little bit of pivoting. Yeah. And he sometimes likes a little bit where you move into him, which is fine. For some puppies, they prefer the opposite. I like to work both. Nice, ready? We'll do a little find it, get you up and wiggling. So, but the benefit of getting him to move his back end independently from the front, ready, paws up, this way, sir, can be helpful because it gets your babe to realize they've got a caboose. So for a lot of puppies, they end up sometimes hurting themselves because they don't realize where the front and the hind end are in relation to their whole body. And that's when sometimes injuries can happen. So we'll try a little bit, see if we can get a little bit of pivoting. Yes. And we'll try again. Yes. Nice. Again. Yes. Oh, look at you, smart boy. You're doing great. Ready? Maybe one more. Oh, he says, I'm getting so tired. That was really pretty. Ready? Find it. So getting him to just practice a little bit can be really nice. Also just breaks up your training, gives him something novel and something a little bit more fun to do than your typical everyday stuff. Ready? Paws up. He's like, hold up. I'm getting so tired. Oh, he's got an itch. You try and get that itch. You good? Ready? Paws up. Yes. Good job. So this could be a great way to redirect him onto a different skill or something to replace a behavior you didn't want him to do. With one of my boys, I know I'd mentioned, like sometimes when he's getting up into everybody's little bubble and we really want to take a little pause from whatever he's trying to rock, we just have him either go do a pause up or he actually goes and targets a chair and we ask him to go sit up on it and he just kind of sits there and hangs out. So there could be moments where getting onto something or targeting a platform or a dog caught can have a lot of great value. He says he's all done. He's relaxing in the puddle again. Bodie and his friends do like to spill the water a little bit, which is fine. And then Mr. T likes to go lay in it to cool down a bit. He says, boy, is he winded. So maybe what I'll do is, I know the other cot, I did have it out, but it's a bit small for him. I'm just going to grab one of the bigger ones. And I'm sorry that, again, out of range. But we're going to see if maybe Mr. T does better fitting on a larger bed. And then we'll try a little bit with sort of going to a target so we can be involved. Ready? Do you want to come check this one out instead? He says, I don't know. Feeling very tired and very comfortable in his wet puddle. Ready? Teddy, come. What a good boy. That was very nice. Yes, good job. So I know he's feeling a little bit tired, so we'll take a break from those paws up. Ready, bed? He's like, this is weird. It's a different color. What do you think? Want to try it? Yes, what a good boy. This one's a little bit bigger, similar to like the gray one, but a little bit larger. He's like, hold up, I haven't sniffed it out yet. So whenever trying something newer, you may also have a moment where he needs to kind of check it out on his own rate and kind of feed for his little attempts at the behavior. Let's say, again, he's feeling pretty comfortable. Ready, Teddy? We'll try getting him up on the bed. Nice, ready? Sit. Yes, good job. Ready? We might try this down. Ready? Down. Yes, good job. So this one he fits a little bit better in, which is nice. So we may find the larger cot is more up his alley. So we're just going to try a few little stays. I know that he's feeling really tired, so we'll work a little bit with this, this tired man moment and capture some great maybe stay positions again for him. So use whatever your babe is able to offer, and I'm just ripping up his little Bill Jack snacks into like halves. Use whatever your babe is able to offer at the moment and use that setup for some training. So if you know your puppy is a little bit tired and they're going to be really successful in working a bit with their place position, maybe that would be a great time to do that versus working weights with recall. You know, again, we tried working the paws up with some pivoting, which he did amazing with, but maybe he's already really pooped out, and this is as good as it gets for what we're working on for today. So I sometimes also like to feed low, so like on the cot itself. So I'm starting to build up value in being stationary. I'm pretty sure I just put yummy Bill Jack into my hair, but that's fine. There's a reason why my dogs always love it when I come home. Yes. So, but when you're practicing with Mr. T, see if when you're working certain dynamics, what's the environment like? What are the distraction levels? Have we tried implementing it with other types of criteria or other novelty nearby? If a lot of times it's always the exact same setup with the exact same criteria, that could be the reason behind behavior being unable to seem to transition from one environment to another. So those are things to just think about as you're progressing. Where are we being successful and where are we starting to have little hiccups or things not go as smoothly? And then I would gauge it from there and see how could I set it up where my dog may be more successful now. So again, we're just going to do a couple little, oh, we got our train going by. Mr. T says, I don't care. What a nice job. So again, maybe to be a little distracting, I might even go and move some of my stuff around. And then feed him for that little response. What a smart boy. Nice. Yes. He's so handsome. He actually looks quite cute on this green bed. It's because of his little chestnut or sort of brownish red coat. He looks very handsome with green. Yes. Nice job. So if, let's say, I was worried he wasn't going to do as well, I would probably have him get off of the dog bed and work a little break situation where he takes a breather from this place position. But if, let's say, he's doing amazing, you may rock a few more reps. But just like earlier where he almost couldn't tolerate being stationary, it could have been too he prefers the bigger bed now compared to the smaller one. So, but if there's moments where he's not being as successful, you may find he just needs a break, and you don't have to keep rocking the same skill and end it on that note if he really can't. So this is really pretty now where he is feeling much more comfortable rocking his place position, holding it. And actually, I'm going to pick up the snack that he must have missed earlier. It probably fell out of his mouth. So it was really nice holding his position while I went to go get his little snack that was on the floor. So I might again play with some of the merchandise, see if I can keep him busy. What a smart boy. So, but for the gentleman, I was just going to tell you, you're all done. He's like, good, because I was all set. So are you ready? Want to do some find its? Oh, thank you for the slime. So with all of the students, so I know with Miss P, I want to check in with mom and just make sure that she's feeling comfortable with the rate at which Miss P is feeling and going. I know we discussed a little bit with Miss P, it might be a little bit too challenging of a starting point for her, because even with day number 2, she was still not as comfortable. And how we want to make sure that when we're working with our babes, we are seeing progression because they feel safe enough to learn and do new little steps. But for the gentlemen who have been coming here since they were babies, they are feeling very comfortable and confident rocking their skills because none of this seems too spooky. But again, guys, keep rocking and rolling. The boys and our little lady are doing a very nice job. But if there's any questions and concerns over any of the materials or some of the topics we might have dived into or things at home, don't forget to check in with me. So, but otherwise, I'm going to send Mr. T away for a lovely little find it, give him a little breather, and then we'll have a little bit of wrestle before it's time to go home. But he did a very nice job.